I will be doing a quick tank review for the Russian Tier 1 light tank, the MS-1. What must you know about the MS-1? This vehicle have another name as well, the T-18. If you want to remember if a tank it is American or Soviet, if it have the same letter and number in the name. Let's take, for example, the Russian MS-1, which would be the T-18, and compare it to the T-18. The Russian tanks have a dash in their name. The American tanks don't have a dash in it. This tank, it is based on the French Renault FT tank, but the Russian modified it to their needs, so it became a completely different tank. This tank, it is quite small, so this tank have a very good camo rating to it. When you add a camo net via terrain, camouflage, camo paint, with camo perks on top of it, this tank, it is hard to be seen at a distance, unless if you are in the open or you just fired. This tank, as it is somewhat based on the French Renault FT design, a well-placed shot can cripple the two crew members in the tank if it hit the center of the tank here. This tank determines how you have it set up as. This can be a very fun Tier 1 tank to play in. Let's get into the stats of the vehicle. The stats for the MS-1, when it is fully upgraded, it is just average. You will have maximum of 110 points, which is not a lot. You can take a couple of hits before you are killed. The maximum load limit, it is 6.5 tons. My current setup, it is 5.8 tons. With the top engine, it gives me a decent horsepower to ton ratio. The top engine, it is 70 horsepower, which have a 20% chance of the engine being set on fire. Most of the time, you are going to be killed by enemy gunfire, not by the engine fire itself. The horsepower to ton ratio that I have with the top engine, it is 17.5 horsepower to 1 ton, which allows me to reach the top speed easily enough. The horsepower to ton ratio for my setup, it is 17.5 horsepower to 1 ton, which is decent enough for a light tank. I can easily reach the top speed of 32 kilometers easily enough when I am going downhill or when I am on flat terrain. The hull and the turret traverse, it is good. The hull traverse, it is 38 degrees, so the hull can be turned around quickly enough. The hull armor, it is just rubbish. Same thing for the turret. 18mm in the front for both. Rear and side, 16. Weak part of the vehicle, just shoot anywhere. If you want to knock out the driver and the commander, the driver just shoot the driver component of the tank in the front here, or shoot the tank in the turret or at the Capella hill to knock out the commander easily enough. This tank have a very good camo rating as well, so you can remain invisible as long as you are not being seen. You can get some lucky ricochets from time to time if a enemy gun hit the lower glacis plate here and just ricochet. Most tier 1 and tier 2 guns can pen this part of the tank with ease at a distance still. The gun depression for all of the guns, it is -8 degrees downward, while the gun elevation upward, it is 25 degrees, so you can sort of hill fight with this tank if you must. The guns, I will talk about that in the research part of the video. The turret traverse, it is 35 degrees. With the combined hull and turret traverse, the vehicle can turn around quickly enough when it comes to the hull and turret traverse. The radio range and the view range, it is mediocre. The base view range, it is 280 meters. When you combine a binocular telescopes with crew perks, you can have your view range to be over 350 meters. The radio, it is not that good. You have a 265 meter radio maximum on this tank. Let's get to the research of the tank now. The research for the MS-1, it should not take you that long. Potentially 5 to 15 matches maximum to have the vehicle fully researched. Let's begin off with the tracks. The base tracks, it is not that good. You have 4.89 for the load limit with 34 for the whole traverse. Get the needed research point ASAP to get the top tracks. The top tracks have a limit of 6.5 for the load limit with a total of 38 for the traverse speed. The T18 tracks here allow you to mount all of the equipment right away. Also, this track leads you to the SU-18, which will require you to have 170 research points to research it. Engine, the base one, it is not that good. All of them have a 20% chance of engine fire. The engine, they are transferable to the SU-18, so research them on the MS-1 if you do not want to research them on the SU-18. The base engine have a 43 horsepower engine. Use this engine until you have the needed EXP to research the gas MN1 engine, which have a slightly increased horsepower up to 55 horsepower. The top engine, mount this right away because you have a 70 horsepower engine. The MS-1 and the gas M1 engine, you will have a lower horsepower to ton ratio. This AMO3 engine will allow you to have a 17.5 horsepower engine with the 70 horsepower engine. It also leads to the BT2, which requires you to have 120 research points to research it. The radio, the base radio, it is 90 meters, which is terrible. Get the needed research point ASAP to get the top radio. This T71 TK-1. It have a total of 265 meter signal range. It is transferable to all of the tier 2 tanks. Turrets, it is the same as the top turret, except the top turret it is slightly better when it comes to the view range and hit point pool area. The stock turret have the same armor though. You have better turret traverse speed with 90 hit points. The view range it is 240 meters. The top turret, you have the same armor. You'll have slightly worse traverse speed from 39 to 35. The -4 traverse speed loss, it is not a major game breaker. The view range, it is very good at 280 meters. The maximum amount of hit point, it is 100 hit points. This top turret, the mod 1930 turret, allows you to mount the 45mm gun. If you just want to go to the T26 right away, you just need to research the 37mm gun, the top turret, then get another 135 research points. To research the AT1, you just need to get the 45mm gun, then get another 110 research points. To research the T60, you just need to research the 20mm T and SH gun. The two main guns that you are going to be using on this tank, it is the 45mm gun and either of the two magazine-fed guns. Both of these magazine-fed guns, they are the same, except for some minor differences between them. Let's begin off with all the guns that are not magazine-fed guns. They use the same ammo type. The gun, they are transferable to the BT2 and the T26 for the B3 gun. The 45mm gun, it is only usable on the MS-1. All of the stats for the 37mm for the Hardkiss and the B3 gun, they are just average. They are not that good. The Hardkiss stats, they are just mediocre, with a very good rate of fire, mediocre pen and damage, accuracy bad at 0.54, aiming time 2.5 seconds. The 37mm gun gets slightly better. You have the same rate of fire with increased pen and damage. The 37mm gun, you can pen most tier 2s, especially heavily armored ones, with ease. The damage, you do a little bit more damage compared to the Hardkiss. The gun, it is slightly more accurate, 0.46 compared to 0.54. From the 37mm gun to the 45mm gun, the only thing that you are losing out between these two guns is The rate of fire loss, that's it. The pen and the damage for the 45mm gun, it is quite good. The 45mm gun, you can pen everything go tier 1 to tier 2 with ease. I would recommend that you fire HE on the 37mm. I would recommend that you fire HE rounds from the 37mm and the 45mm gun, as most tier 1 and tier 2 they are lightly armored and you can potentially do your full amount of damage. Now to the machine guns. Both of these guns, they are the same pretty much, except for some minor soft stats. Both of these guns, they are good to use though. The only major difference that I see between them when I was testing them out is that the loading time, it is longer for the 20mm gun, as it holds 20 rounds in its magazine. But that extra time, it is worth it if you can get all of the 20 shells to penetrate and hit. In theory, the 20mm gun would inflict more damage if all of them can penetrate and hit. On average, I find both of these guns do about the same damage. The 23mm gun, it is good as well, even with it holding 9 rounds in its magazine. Both of these guns overall have the same paper stats, except for a few paper stats differences. The guns, they are transferable to the light tanks. The 20mm, it is usable on the PT2, the T60, the 23mm transferable to the BT2, BT7, and the T26. Let's get to the pros and the cons now for the MS-1. The pros and the cons for the MS-1. As a tier 1 vehicle, you are going to be seeing tier 2 vehicles maximum. The way how you are going to be using the MS-1, you are going to play the tank as a frontline tank, as a support tank, as a support sniper as well, and as a passive scout as well, if you have it set up as so. What is good about the MS-1? The 45mm gun, you can pen most tier 1 and tier 2 with ease. The tank, it is not that big, so you have a very good camo rating as well. Due to the size of the vehicle, it is hard to hit the vehicle as well when it comes to long distances. The cons of the tank. You have the lowest amount of hit points for the tier 1s. The tank, it is not that fast for a tier 1. You have a long aiming time as well. The view range, it is just mediocre on the MS-1. Some of the side notes that I made while playing this tank. It is very important that you use the environment and the environment camouflage to survive longer. Some of the perks that I would recommend for the commander would be 6 cents. For both of the crew members, I would recommend perks that increases the view range through perks. Also, having camel perks as well would help as well. When you combine camel perks, the environmental camouflage, the tank camo rating with a camo net on top, this is one hard to be seen tank at a long distance, unless if you are being seen. Let's cover the ammo, the equipment, and the consumables that you are going to be using on the MS-1. The consumables and the ammo layout that you are going to be using. Consumables, if I would be using them, I would go for a first aid kit to treat my crew members, a repair kit to repair my modules. If you really want to make this tank go a little bit more faster, you could use the remove a speed governor. This will increase the speed that you go though. Just remember that when you reach the top speed, just turn it off right away, because if you leave this on too long, you will suffer engine damage problems. You can also use the land lease fuel as well to increase your engine power as well. The ammo layout. I went with mostly armor-piercing rounds for the 45mm gun. The 20 and the 23mm gun, I would go with armor-piercing rounds only. The premium ammo, it is slightly a little bit better for pen, but it is up to you if you want to use the premium ammo for the magazine-fed guns there. APCR for the 45mm gun. You have a good amount of pen from 66 to 110 meters. You do the same amount of damage as the armor piercing does. I found that using a PCR, it is just overkill and overpen when it comes to shooting heavily armored tanks at tier 2 area. I found that using only armor piercing, I can pen most tier 2 tanks that are heavily armored. HE rounds, I would have some on me, as I can reset cap and shoot at thinly armored vehicles as well. The equipment that I would usually mount on my MS-1, it would be a camo net to increase my camo rating and to help remain hidden as well, a binocular telescope, and vents. Some of the other useful equipment that you can mount if you want to, it is a toolbox to get your repair done faster, a enhanced gun laying drive to decrease the aiming time as well by 10%. I have some replays lined up so I can show you how to use the MS-1. This replay, I am using the 45mm gun on the MS-1. In this replay, I play my MS-1 mostly as a passive scout and also as a support vehicle as well. This 45 millimeter gun, which I just adore, about it is that if you can get your shell to penetrate most tier 2 vehicles in one vehicle, you can inflict a lot of damage in a short amount of time with the 45 millimeter gun. Even tier 2 vehicles that are well armored, if you know where you are shooting at, you can pen most tier 2s with ease. This map is not necessarily a good map for tanks to hill fight at a distance on. Here I missed some of my shots. They got close to hitting the enemy tank. One shot did land there. It is very important that you fully aim with the 45 millimeter gun. As I am showing right now. That medium one was such a big target that I could not miss the target at all. That MS-1 is going to be dead soon. The Lutch Tractor on my team killed it. Maps like this that have a decent amount of camouflage with a good crew and a camo net with the amazing camo rating this vehicle does have, you can remain hidden for the entire match pretty much until you're seen. Right now I am moving back and forth, trying to get my gun barrel aimed down at the Lutch Tractor in the town area. I fall back a bit just to get behind the bush, just in case if I was seen. I am looking around for potential targets. The Lutch Tractor there. I almost got my shot to hit the tank there. I got a good shot on that one there. That shot almost hit the T1. Right now, my team is doing quite good. They are doing a base push. Any vehicles that they see, I will try to support them by shooting at any vehicles that I can shoot at. Let me just speed this up a bit. A lot of waiting around for the next part of a minute. This T1 I unfortunately did not fully aim my shot there. Got a lucky shot at the Lutch Tractor engine department. For a tier 1 vehicle, the Renault Auto, it is quite well armored. I try to lead my shots with the Renault Auto Mafia. I got 2 shots on that Renault Auto. This is where my usefulness to the team comes to an end. For playing as a passive scout and as a support tank as well, I did quite well using the 45mm gun. I did about 350 damage, which is not that bad. We won this match when one of the allied tanks killed the last T1 tank. Let's go to the next replay now. This replay, I am using the 20mm machine gun that the MS-1 have. Most tier 1s and tier 2s, this machine gun will pen with ease. As long as you shoot at any part of the enemy tank that it is not well armored. I am on the map Mines. This replay, I played the MS-1 as a slightly aggressive support tank. This machine gun, as long as you can get all of your rounds to penetrate and hit, you can inflict a lot of damage within a minute. That MS-1, I just tore it to pieces with my machine gun. But now I'm being careful. I am fully aiming to get my shot to hit the medium 1 turret. The medium 1 there, if I remember correctly, one of its guns, if you fire HE, you can just decimate a lot of tier 1 and shoot with it. I am doing good for the moment. I am booking out when I have to, when I am loaded. The medium 1 there, I see. It is not moving. I unleashed the gun magazine into it. Me and this MS-1, it is being careful as we poke out. 4 kills, I am doing quite good. Now I need to get another 2 for a top gun. This Untitled Chapter, I am trying to flank it so I can get the shot at it. I gotten the MS-1 kill. Now I need one more for the top gun. I gotten myself the Top Gun medal. This is not good. This is that someone was capping base. A lich tractor killed a lich tractor. That is hilarious. I did quite well in this replay using a machine gun on the MS-1. I did about 615 damage, which it gave me the Master Ace Tanker badge in this tank in the match. Let's go back to the garage now to do a brief recap on the MS-1. Let's do a brief recap on the MS-1. The MS-1 as a tank, it is just average. It is not that bad nor good. The tank itself, it is a fun tank to play if you know how to play right and have the correct setup for your personal play style for the tank. This tank have a very good camo rating to it, so as long as you use the camouflage around you, you are going to be hard to be spotted by a enemy tank. This tank can be even harder to be seen at a distance if you have camouflage perks, camo net, and a camouflage screen as well added on top of it as well. As a tier 1, you can keep it or sell it. Me personally, I generally like the MS-1 and I did quite well in it, so it is a keeper for me. I hope that you learned a thing or two about the MS-1 and how to use it. If you like my video, do follow my channel and also leave a comment as well. Good luck on the battlefield, everyone.